Yo, what's good everybody? Welcome to We Create Music TV. My name is Vaughan. I am the creator and host of We Create Music TV. Today I want to talk to you about what gear we use to shoot our interviews. Man, we use a lot of gear. Well, not a lot of gear like you would see on professional television shows and things like that. But for what we do, there's a lot of gear that we use. And to tell you the truth, this has been an expensive thing to do. I'm sure with many camera enthusiasts and professionals out there, you know that buying camera gear, audio gear, things like that can really hit your wallet. And man, did it really hit my wallet for real. And so I'm just gonna run through some of the gear that I use, kind of talk about why I've chosen the gear that I've chosen, some based upon the fact that I couldn't afford a whole lot, right? In the very beginning, you can afford what you can afford. But over time, you kind of look at what you need and then you kind of determine, hey, this is what I'm gonna get. So without further ado, I'm just gonna dive right in. You kind of see all the gear sitting here. So I kind of talk about what I first started off with getting. So the very first thing that I started off with getting is not this bad boy, which I'll talk about this one a little bit later. But it was this one, the Canon 80D. Man, I love this camera. This was a really great camera. It came with the kit lens, the 18 to 55 kit lens, which honestly I never ever used. But so I ended up buying some new lenses for this camera. And you know, somebody was like, hey, you're gonna get into filming, you should get Canon. Canon's a great brand. Great. I didn't know much about cameras and what to buy as far as what camera gear to use. All I know is I just wanted to start a TV show. So a friend of mine recommended the Canon 80D. So I went and bought it, got it off of, I think eBay, I believe. And man, for 36 interviews, it has been one of the staples of We Create Music TV. And so I ended up buying the Canon 80D first. And after that, I was like, man, I don't want to just do interviews where it's just me and the person speaking. I want to be able to focus on the person. So I bought another camera, right? We're talking about more money. I purchased a Canon 7D Mark II with a 18 to 135 lens. And then I bought another 18 to 135 lens. So don't ask me why I bought two, but I thought if I purchased two that I can get the same image out of both cameras, right? I'll tell you how much I knew in the very beginning. But I ended up buying the 80D, of course, and then I bought the 7D Mark II. So when I first got these cameras, what I had to learn was how to use these cameras. And I knew nothing about cameras, right? I mean, I'm a music producer. I'm in the music industry. So dabbling in this whole film and video and shooting interviews was super brand new. I knew nothing about cameras, right? I knew nothing about cameras except that you pick it up, you point and shoot, you get your image, you're good. So one of the things I had to learn was how to use this bad boy. So I sat on YouTube for hours, and I mean hours and hours and hours and weeks and months just to learn how to use this camera. I've watched so many videos from people like Peter McKinnon and Maddie and Donna Did It and Everyday Dad and Potato Jet and Kai W and man, you name it. And Manny Ortiz, man, I've watched so many videos. The one thing I've learned about those videos is that they always told you, or me in this case, was to never use auto mode. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna use manual mode. And I've learned how to use this camera in manual mode. Now, I'm not gonna go super in depth on the Canon 80D. There are tons of reviews on YouTube about this particular camera. People who can get into the nuts and bolts of using the camera and the menu settings and what settings work best for what. I don't wanna do none of that. My whole purpose is just to state that this was the camera that I started off with, right? This one and the Canon 7D Mark II. Love both of those cameras, right? Two great cameras. So this is what I started off with. Love it. Actually, it's for sale in case you want, If it doesn't sell by the time this video airs, it is for sale. Get out your boy, right? Canon 80D. And then I bought a whole ton of lenses for it, right? Because I thought, man, this is what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use Canon. I'm gonna keep with the Canon. Nah, I end up switching, which was so crazy, because I had invested so much into the Canon ecosystem by getting the Canon 80D, the 7D Mark II, two 18-135 lenses. I bought 2 of those things, right? Thinking that I can get the best quality out of 2 lenses that are exact same. I guess that's what I thought in the very beginning. Then I bought a 17-55 f2.8, which was, oh man, I love that lens. That was my favorite lens. Recently sold it, but that was my favorite lens. Loved it. So I bought the 17-55 f2.8. I bought the Nifty 50. I bought the 24mm pancake, the 85mm. My son bought me a 10-18mm. I mean, I just had a whole bunch of lenses. At 18-55 kit lens. And I said, you know what? I sold all of those lenses and pretty much now selling the entire camera, Canon camera ecosystem, because I made a switch over to Sony. Now, I had been debating if I wanted to go to Sony for a very long time. The reason why I went to Sony, for 2 things. There were 2 things that I wanted a camera to do, and my Canon 80D and my 7D Mark II did not do it for me. Number 1 is I wanted to shoot 4K. I wanted to shoot 4K. I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm tired of shooting 1080p. 1080p is cool, I like it. I wanna shoot 4K. It was the rave, everybody was talking about it. Let me shoot 4K. That's what I wanna do. Got the camera that can shoot 4K. The second thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to have unlimited recording. The Canon 80D, the 7D Mark II just didn't give me that. I couldn't shoot unlimited recording on those cameras. It stops at 29 minutes and 59 seconds. So that means in my interviews, when the interviews are going 45, 50, 55 minutes, when it gets to that 30, almost that 30-minute mark at 29, 59, I had to tell my camera guys, all right, cut. And then they had to restart it. I mean, great, it gave us a breather in between, you know, in the conversation with the person I'm interviewing, but still, I didn't want that jump. I didn't like that jump from the one section to the other. It just seemed really weird to me, and I didn't want that. So I ended up buying the Sony a6600. Yes, it is an APS-C camera, so is the Sony, the Canon 80D and the 7D Mark II. You know what, I like them. I know there's this whole debate out there about full frame versus APS-C. To me, it's like, at this point, whatever. I like what I buy, and I decided to go with the Sony a6600. It suits the needs. I love it. Right here, I have the 1.8, the 50mm 1.8. Right, I gotta have a 50mm, right? You gotta have a nifty 50 for whatever camera you buy. But it gives me unlimited recording, and it gives me 4K. And that's exactly what I wanted. Man, if you would have known how long I debated over buying one of these cameras, that was crazy. Super, super crazy. But I bought it. I bought 2, right? So I got rid of, like I said, the cameras, and I bought 2. The one I'm filming on, and this baby right here. Now, I know people say, oh, it doesn't have dual card slots and blah, blah, blah. I don't care. It meets the needs that I got. Right? So I just want to shoot 4K unlimited video for the interviews. That's all I wanted. But I am now using 2 Sony a6600s. With buying cameras, you got to buy some other stuff, right? Because the Sony and all these other cameras have little itty bitty screens on them. Cool. My camera guys were like, hey, we need some monitors. So I went out and I bought some monitors. Right? Yes, they're upside down. Right, we take them off. So I bought 2 of these, right? These are the Neewer F100s. Yep, they're 90-something bucks on Amazon. It does output 4K. I just needed it so that my camera guys can monitor what is going on and make sure that we are in focus, right? So I bought this whole package right off Amazon. It suits the needs, right? So if you're looking for just some basic monitors that, you know, field monitors that you can have, these work fantastic. Nothing wrong with them, no issues. They do the job very, very well. They sit right up on top of the camera. My camera guys do exactly what they need to do with these monitors. Basic monitors, right? The Neewer F100s. So next was audio, right? You gotta have something that's good at capturing audio. I mean, I don't care if your video is banging. If you don't have good audio, it doesn't matter at all. And that's what I had to learn. So it's so crazy because, right, I do music, right? So I know all about the audio, but I'm gonna tell you what, some of the audio stuff is super expensive when it comes to camera gear. So what I started off with was this Bestshoot shotgun mic, right? And so for those who've been on the show, you kind of know this sat right on the floor. I have two of them, one as the main, one as the backup, but it sat right on the floor. And it will capture the main audio coming from me and the person I'm interviewing. And the second one was the backup. And so just in case the first one failed, I always have another audio source. And so, but you know what? These work for a while. And then some people would watch the video and go, hey, what are you using for your audio? And I would go, oh, cool, I'm using this. And they go, oh, okay. You may want to get like a lapel or something like that. I was like, yeah, you know, I want to get a good lapel though, which I'll talk about in a moment. But these sufficed. These did the job. There was nothing wrong with using this Bestshoot, right? This thing. This thing came highly recommended on Amazon. Also, I think it had like 5 stars. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna buy them. So I bought 2, right? But if you're just looking for just a quick condenser microphone with XLR to a 1/4 inch, this works. There's nothing wrong with any of these. They suit the need. So if you want to pick these up, they're like 30 something bucks on Amazon, I believe. Scoop it up. But yeah, this is what sat on the floor. And this did the job. 36 interviews. This did the job right here. I'm proud of these little things. But I'm still keeping one as a backup though, right? So in case anything happens to my main audio, I will still have some type of backup audio, which is this. All right, so I was supposed to get to this, but I kind of just missed out on this. So you gotta have things to set your camera on. This is the Kshioe BV30 tripod. It's relatively inexpensive, but it is super sturdy, right? And so you can find one of these on Amazon for, shoot, I don't even know how much the price is. I'll put it in the description and things like that. But yeah, it is a great tripod. Suits the needs, super sturdy, and it works super duper well. So I have one of these, and then I have like a Kingjoy one that I had from a while ago that I've used that I didn't want to buy another tripod. So I bought this one. But I think I may buy another one of these just so I can have 2. Right, I'm all about having two of stuff. And so then I had to figure out, okay, I need lights. I need to have some type of lights where I can light my interview set. So that's exactly what I purchased. So a friend of mine was like, hey, what you need to buy is some ring lights. I was like, cool. I didn't know anything about lighting, right? Like I said, I'm a music person. I knew nothing about lighting anything, right? A light switch, you turn the light switch on, click, cool, you got lights in your room. No, I knew nothing about 3-point light system, right? I knew nothing about a field light, a backlight. I knew nothing about any of that stuff. But still, I bought 3 ring lights. And I love these little lights because it's gonna be a little bright. But I love these lights because they are dimmable, right? So you can turn them all the way up to the max, or you can have it on its lower setting. And so I use 3 of these things when I shoot the interviews, just to give me enough light to kind of fill in the shadows and things like that. But yeah, man, these are Kshioe. It's on Amazon, right? I'll put the link in the description. Everything that I got, I'm gonna put in the description anyway. But yeah, man, I went out and I bought these ring lights. I think they're 12 inches in diameter, but they do the job. They work very, very, very well. I mean, unless for some reason I need to buy, you know, better lights with a Godox or something, these do the job. So I'm good with these lights right here. So thank you, Amazon, for supplying these Kshioe lights, ring lights from Amazon, right? Love it. And so I needed my camera guys next to be able to hear. So I bought these straight from Walmart. These Skullcandy headphones. That way you can just be on their ear and they can hear exactly what we're saying. They can determine if there's any audio drops. Bought two, one for both cameras, because once again, I'm running dual audio, right? So from camera A, I can get all of us both speaking. On camera B, I can get the person that I'm interviewing, right? Boom, gotta have. You don't gotta go out and buy some super crazy expensive headphones. Now, I do have some super crazy expensive headphones that are like 300 and something bucks, but I mean, I use those for music. You ain't gotta go buy a really expensive stuff. You can buy something like this and have people use these to shoot or monitor your audio. Okay, so I had mentioned that I needed clean audio, and then people were like, what are you using for your audio? I was like, oh, I'm using this Bestshoot thing, right? I'm using this. They're like, well, that's great, but you may wanna invest in something better. Cool, so then I went on YouTube. Man, YouTube again. Watched all my guys on YouTube, and I said, okay, I'm gonna figure out what they use. And so this is what well, I'm gonna tell you what I really wanted. I really wanted the Rode wireless Go thing, right? If that's the right name for it. That's what I really wanted. But the only reason why I did not buy that one is because it only has only one transmitter. I was like, oh man, now, if I'm by myself, great. I needed two, one for me and one for the guests. So I noticed that in the comments, a lot of people were like, well, I have the Ceramic Blink 500 B2. I was like, oh, cool, well, I'm gonna start looking at that. I bought it, right? I love it. Love the that's what I'm recording on right now. I love it. It's great. I don't need to be 7,000 meters away from my camera to get audio. I mean, I know people do that in their test. I don't need to be one of those. I needed to sit in this room, me in one chair, the guest in the other chair, us having a conversation. Camera is what, 5 feet away from us. This is fantastic. Everybody's on the internet and YouTube. This is probably the Rode wireless killer. Probably not, I don't know. All I know, it works for what I need it for. This gives me great audio. It comes with two receivers, one that I have here on my side, second one for the guests, and it comes with two lapels, and it comes with a receiver that sits on the camera in the hot shoe. Perfect, love it. I get great audio. I mean, you can tell from watching this video if the audio quality is good. I'm sure you can tell the difference between that audio quality and this audio quality from the Bestshoot. I mean, it's just night and day. I love these, 249 bucks, but I love them. 30 something bucks off of Amazon. But I was like, you know what? It's an investment, right? I'm trying to create something that is for the music creators and the music community. So I wanted something that was, you see, I almost knocked it over. I wanted something that was, you know, up to standard. And the Ceramic Blink 500 B2 does the job. Ceramic, thank you. This is not sponsored by Ceramic, but if you want to sponsor, if anybody want to sponsor anything, just hit me up, let me know. These are great. Perfect, perfect. And then, I mean, that's it for the tools, right? I mean, then there's other stuff. They're not really what I shoot or use in the background, but man, I did pour a lot into purchasing a ton of stuff for the show. I bought two stools that you can get right off Amazon for my kids, or for my camera guys, right? My two boys who are pretty much professional cameramen. And they do all my shooting. I bought chairs from Walmart. I bought stands. I had an old keyboard that I have. I bought some stuff from IKEA. Man, I brought a whole bunch of stuff. I probably poured $5-6 grand into doing this whole thing. I mean, it's what I do. It's what I love, right? I wanted to be able to provide a platform for music creators to really showcase who they are, what they do, and just to provide a platform that allows them to showcase themselves. And that's what We Create Music TV is. So, and then, you know, you can't forget the We Create Music cup. Man, I wish they would have printed it on this side, right? But to tell you the truth is that when I got the cups printed, I didn't know you could move the icon over. You can move the logo over to So I told my wife, I said, you know what, I'm gonna have to go buy some more cups and put it on this side. Maybe on both sides. So, cause you never know who's gonna be holding it which way. I don't know, but it is for what it is right now. Now, what if I choked in that water? That'd have been crazy. I'm sitting there, but hey, I appreciate you tuning in to another episode of We Create Music TV. Just wanted to run through some of the gear that I use, or actually all the gear, not even some. That's pretty much all the gear that I use to shoot all the interviews. I mean, I even bought some curtains, black curtains, to block out the sun. And I'll get into another video about why I purchased black curtains to block out the sun. And man, but if you don't have black curtains and you're shooting things, interviews or whatnot, trust me, you're gonna love them. They come in handy. But anyway, I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you very much for checking out all the gear. Thank you for your support of We Create Music TV, and y'all have a great day. Peace. Like, I forgot to even ask you to subscribe, right? That's so crazy. So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure to hit the icon, the bell icon, to get notified of new content. Peace out.